Alex Thompson lived a life governed by the predictable rhythm of the mundane. Each day bled into the next, an indistinguishable blur of routine. He would wake, shower, and eat breakfast. Always the same toast and coffee. The subway ride to his office was a symphony of boredom. The same faces, the same smells, the same tired advertisements flashing past. His days were spent hunched over spreadsheets, his mind numbed by the endless procession of numbers. He was an accountant, a master of figures, yet his own life felt like an unsolved equation. There was a void within him, a yearning for something more than the drudgery of his existence. He longed for adventure, for a taste of the extraordinary. Little did he know fate had a plan for him, a journey that would shatter the monotony and awaken a dormant part of his soul. The red envelope lay on his welcome mat, stark against the dull gray. Alex picked it up, a ripple of curiosity disturbing the calm surface of his day. It was thick, expensive paper. No name, no address. Just a single crimson wax seal, an imprint of an unknown family crest. Intrigued, he broke the seal. Inside, a single card. Elegant script, a message in black ink. The truth lies where time began. No signature, no explanation, just the card and a small antique key. Alex turned the key over in his hands, his pulse quickening. What did it mean? What truth? What time? He had no answers, only questions. He read the message again, his mind racing. The words echoed in his mind, a tantalizing enigma. He felt a strange pull, an undeniable urge to unravel the mystery. He knew with unsettling certainty that his life was about to change. The instructions were clear. Central Park, midnight, beneath the shadow of the obelisk. The message had an air of clandestine urgency, pulling Alex into a world he never knew existed. He found himself pacing his apartment, the red envelope and the key resting ominously on his coffee table. He had never done anything like this before. His life was a symphony of order and predictability, yet here he was, about to embark on a journey into the unknown. Doubt gnawed at him. Was this a prank? A mistake? But something in his gut, a primal instinct, urged him forward. The clock struck 12 as Alex reached the obelisk. The park was deserted, the silence broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant wail of a siren. A lone figure shrouded in a red coat stood beneath the imposing monument. She turned, her face obscured by the shadows. "You received the message?" Her voice was a hushed whisper, barely audible above the city's muted symphony. Alex's heart pounded. He had stepped into a world of intrigue, a world where the rules were different, and he was no longer the master of his own fate. The woman in red. A modern-day oracle, guiding him through this labyrinth of mystery. Her name, she said, was Sophia, and she held the key to unlocking his past, a past shrouded in secrets. Sophia handed him a worn, leather-bound journal. "Your grandfather's," she explained, her voice barely a whisper in the cool night air. The journal was filled with cryptic entries, sketches of strange symbols and faded photographs. It spoke of a hidden legacy, a lineage shrouded in mystery. Each page Alex turned was a step deeper into the rabbit hole. He learned of his family's connection to a secret society, guardians of ancient knowledge. The clues led him on a chase through the city, each location revealing a piece of the puzzle, a fragment of his forgotten history. He visited forgotten libraries, deciphered coded messages etched into historical landmarks, and navigated hidden passageways beneath the city's bustling streets. The city, once so familiar, was now a tapestry of secrets, whispering tales of a past he never knew existed. Section 5. The Enigma of the Brownstone. The clues led Alex to a dilapidated brownstone in Brooklyn Heights. The building stood as a monument to a bygone era, its once grand facade now shrouded in grime and neglect. The air hung heavy with the scent of dampness and decay, a testament to years of abandonment. He produced the antique key from the red envelope. It fit perfectly into the rusted lock, the mechanism turning with a heavy groan. Inside, the air was thick with dust, cobwebs draped across the hallway like spectral curtains. The only light came from the moonbeams filtering through the grimy windows, casting long, eerie shadows across the floor. He moved cautiously, his footsteps echoing in the silence. The house seemed to breathe, its silence punctuated by the creaking of floorboards and the rustling of unseen creatures. Each room was a treasure trove of memories, filled with antique furniture draped in white sheets, faded portraits of strangers staring down from the walls, and the lingering scent of a life once lived. In the attic, he discovered a hidden compartment behind a dusty bookcase. Inside, a wooden chest, its surface etched with the same crest from the wax seal. His heart pounded with anticipation. This was it, the culmination of his journey, the moment he would finally uncover the truth. Section 6. Whispers of a Hidden Legacy. The chest creaked open, revealing a trove of letters, photographs, and documents. Each item was a piece of a puzzle, a tangible link to a past he never knew. He pored over faded love letters, his heart aching at the raw emotion captured in the elegant script. He saw his grandfather, not as the stern figure from his childhood memories, but as a young man, full of life and love. He saw his own father as a mischievous boy, his eyes sparkling with laughter. And then, he found her, his mother. The photograph was old, the edges frayed, but her eyes, full of warmth and love, held him captive. She was beautiful, her smile radiant, her gaze holding a hint of sadness. He felt an instant connection, a surge of longing for a woman he never knew. The letters told a tale of forbidden love, a love torn apart by family secrets and societal pressures. His mother, he learned, had been forced to give him up, a decision that had shattered her heart. The revelation hit him like a physical blow, leaving him reeling with shock and a profound sense of loss. Section 7. The journey begins. The revelation of his mother's existence ignited a fire within Alex, a burning desire to find her. He pored over the letters, searching for any clue to her whereabouts. Finally, he found it. A faded postcard, its edges worn thin, the ink smudged with time. It was from a small town in Maine, a place called Havenwood. The message was brief, but it was enough. It was his mother's handwriting, and it spoke of finding peace and starting anew. Without hesitation, Alex packed a bag, a single-minded determination driving him. He left behind the city that had been his cage, his heart filled with a mix of apprehension and hope. The journey was long, the miles stretching before him like an uncharted path, but he was driven by a force greater than himself, a longing for connection, for a chance to reclaim the family he never knew. As he drove, the cityscape gave way to rolling hills and quaint towns. The air smelled different here, cleaner, fresher. He felt a sense of peace settle over him, a sense of coming home. Section 8. Unraveling the Tapestry of Time. Havenwood was a picturesque town, its streets lined with charming clapboard houses and its air filled with the scent of the sea. It was a place untouched by time, a place where life moved at a slower pace. He showed the faded photograph of his mother to the locals, his heart pounding with each interaction. Finally, an elderly woman, her eyes filled with recognition, pointed him towards a small cottage on the outskirts of town. It was a modest home, its white paint peeling, the garden overgrown. He approached cautiously, his hand trembling as he knocked on the weathered wooden door. The sound echoed in the silence, each second stretching into an eternity. Then he heard footsteps approaching from inside, slow and deliberate. The door creaked open, revealing a woman. Her hair was streaked with gray, her face etched with the passage of time, but her eyes, those warm, loving eyes, were unmistakable. It was her, his mother. Section 9. A face etched in memory. Time seemed to stand still as their eyes met, years of separation melting away in an instant. He saw his own reflection in her gaze, the same eyes, the same curve of the smile. "Alex?" Her voice was a whisper, filled with disbelief and a hint of trepidation. He stepped forward, his heart pounding in his chest. "Mom?" The word felt foreign on his lips, yet it felt right, as if he had been speaking it his whole life. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she reached out, her hand trembling as she touched his face. "It's really you," she breathed, her voice thick with emotion. "You've grown so much." He pulled her into a hug, the warmth of her embrace erasing years of loneliness and longing. In that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the secrets, not the pain of the past. All that mattered was that they had found each other. Section 10. The Embrace of a Lost Past. They spent hours talking, filling in the blanks of a lifetime. She told him about the circumstances surrounding his birth, the heartbreaking decision she had been forced to make. She spoke of the years of guilt and sorrow, the constant ache in her heart. Alex listened, his own heart heavy with empathy. He understood the impossible choices she had faced, the sacrifices she had made. He held no anger, only love and gratitude. He had found his mother, and in doing so, he had found a missing piece of himself. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the garden, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. He was home, not in the physical sense, not yet, but in a way he had never felt before. He had found his family, his roots, and in doing so, he had discovered a sense of belonging he never knew he craved. Section 11. Finding Home. The journey that began with a mysterious red envelope had led Alex on a chase through the labyrinthine streets of New York City, uncovering family secrets and a past shrouded in mystery. But it was in the quiet seaside town of Havenwood, in the embrace of a mother he never knew, that he truly found himself. He returned to New York a changed man. The city, once a symbol of his mundane existence, now held a new meaning. It was the place where his journey began, where he first embarked on the path to self-discovery. He carried the memory of his mother's love with him, a beacon of warmth and light in his life. He knew that he would return to Havenwood, that this was not goodbye, but rather the beginning of a new chapter. The red envelope had been more than just an invitation to a scavenger hunt. It had been a catalyst, a force that propelled him out of his comfort zone and into the adventure of a lifetime. And while the journey had been fraught with challenges and heartache, it had ultimately led him home.